All right, the Google Hangout is live. My name is Anna Walijowska, and I coordinate the FIGS and TRIGS program at University of Missouri. And I'm very excited that all of you have joined me here. I will repeat this information later on, but just so you know, we will be posting this on all of our social media. And so if you have to run to your soccer practice, you'll be able to catch up with us later on. We'll be posting this on our social media. I'm going to take some questions now, and I have some frequently asked questions if I don't see any pop up. So let's see if I am getting any questions here. All right. One of the questions that I am seeing here is, why should I join the FIG? And I think a connected question to that is, what is a FIG? So what is a FIG? Let's start there. A FIG is an academic program with a residential component. And so through that program, you and a group of other 20 students are going to be taking the same classes and living together. You're taking the same 4 classes, so there's some room to take another one if you would like to, or 2 if you would like to, but you're taking the same 4 classes with a group of students. 3 of those are going to be counted towards your major or your gen ed requirements, and 1 of them is going to be a seminar. That seminar is really key here. That seminar is going to teach you how to be a successful student in that major or in that academic area that you have pre-selected. And so we know that a lot of students change majors. We know that you might really be strongly excited about engineering, but you will try a few classes and decide, oh, this is really for me and this is what I want to do, or maybe that's not for me at all. And so with the FIGS program, you'll be able to sort of test drive it and see if the fit is there. And more importantly, you will be able to see if there are opportunities for you to get further involved with that major. A lot of our FIGs talk about undergraduate research, they talk about opportunities, they talk about ways to get involved in college further on. And so that's an opportunity for you to test out all of those and see how those will work for you and what you will be needing to be further involved in Mizzou in that academic major. Why should you join? Outstanding question. Lots of folks join FIGS to, as I said, test their interest in that major, test out a major. Some of the students join FIGS to figure out whether something is for them. Those are all great reasons. Another kind of unofficial benefit that we're getting, but a very strong benefit, is that students really do get that sense of belonging and that sense of not only belonging to Mizzou, but really belonging to that major or to that college. A lot of our students are able to take on leadership positions. A lot of our students are able to be roommates and best friends and whatever with the rest of their crew that they have been in the FIGS program. Okay, oh my goodness, we have more questions still. We have a question that says, hi, I'm Megan from Kansas City, and I was wondering if you can explain to me what a FIG is. I think I have done that for you, Megan. One of the things that I failed to mention, but I would love to talk about, is that our FIG students do in fact get higher GPAs than non-FIG students. We're able to gather data and see what the predictive GPAs are and actual GPAs are, and we see that FIG students do in fact do better in their majors, which is really exciting and a really great benefit of the FIGS program. Drew here from St. Louis is asking us if he can room with his best friend and still be in a FIG. And once again, Drew, I'm really excited that you're coming into Mizzou and you have this best friend already. That is outstanding. We have lots of folks from near and far and from big cities and from small towns who may or may not have best friends. And so I will advise you to really think through what kind of academic experience you want to have and what kind of academic path you want to take. If you are able to choose an academic path that maybe leads you a little bit further away from your best friend, you will still have these 2 great communities of friends that you will develop independently, and so you'll have more friends as a result of doing that. So I encourage you to do that. I know that college is a time where you get to meet a lot of people and when you get to make a lot of friends, and so it might seem scary now, but it will be worth it once you get here. Let's talk a little bit about another question is about signing up for a fig and knowing how to when you get it. So I have talked a little bit about how you will go on ResLife's website and look on the figs list. I encourage you to do that and look through not only what figs you're interested in and what buildings they are, but also what restrictions there are with each fig. And we're going to talk about that later if there are questions about that. But you will get into figs through ROAR, Residential Online Access, and you will log in and you will see that there's you can select thematic learning community, general learning community, or fig. You will click on the fig button and you will be able to log in and pick whatever fig is first of all still available and what fig you are qualifying for. There are some certain figs that have restrictions or requirements such as ALEX or math scores. And so if you do not qualify for those figs will not be shown to you. If you do, you will be able to log in, click on those figs and select them. ResLife's marketing team has done a really great job having a video that walks through that process step by step, and we'll be retweeting that video after this broadcast so you're able to see that. It's online already, but we want to make it easier for you and make it easier for you to have all the questions. All right. What if I have AP credit that is part of the FIG? Good question. One of the ways that you are able to get into the FIG is by seeing what restrictions there are. And so let's go back to the explanation what a FIG is. In a FIG, you take 3 classes and a seminar. One of those 3 classes might have a requirement that has or has not been met by your high school preparation. Typically, it is a math requirement. So for some science courses, such as biology or chemistry or math courses, you have to have certain prior knowledge to be able to be successful. If that course is in the bundle, in the FIG class bundle, we also then post it as having a restriction. So if you look on the FIG list on ResLife's website, you will see that some FIGs lists say you need to have a specific ALEX score, SAT, or ACT's math score, or college algebra requirement. You don't have to meet all of those criteria, you just have to meet one. And so if you meet any one of these, you will be able to get into the class. And as far as the AP classes, if you, for example, have taken AP Calculus, or if you have taken AP Biology and that is part of the FIG bundle, you will be able to meet with your academic advisor during the summer and drop one of those 3 FIG classes that we have talked about. We don't recommend that happens for reasons other than having prior college credit for that, because we want for you to go through that FIG experience altogether as a group. That's part of the process. But if you already have taken credit or taken classes that have credit, you will be able to then not take that class. All right, there are some more questions. Can I still join a sorority if I'm in a FIG? Good question. You can join a sorority, or for that fact, a fraternity. You can join any Greek organization if you're in a FIG. And if you if you're interested in doing that, you will be able to participate in both that Greek piece of your life, and you will be able to also participate in the FIG classes. As I said, the FIGS program is an academic program, so you can do that and still have lots of other obligations or other social obligations. Can you explain co-enrollment? I'm kind of confused by it. Thank you. Yes, I can. So co-enrollment is when we put all of the students in the FIGs together in classes. As I kept talking about that FIG bundle, if there are all of the FIG students will take 3 classes plus a seminar. That's what we mean when we say that students are co-enrolled. Can I be in the FIG and not live in the community? That's a tricky one. typically 99% of the time you will be in the FIG and live in the same community. When there's some, we make some accommodation requests if there are some accommodation issues that need to be worked through. But 99% of the time, if you are in a FIG, you will be living in that same learning community and in that same FIG community. And we do that because we want for all the students to have that class experience and that live-in experience, because we know that students who take classes together and live together have that higher chance of belonging and succeeding and feeling academically and socially at home at Mizzou. My mom wants to know if FIGs cost anything. Hi, Mom. Good question. FIGs do not cost anything. There's no additional cost for the FIG. A student and potentially mom will have to pay for those classes and for those credits, but those credits very much do count towards your graduation, so you will be paying for them regardless. And so there's not any extra fees associated with the FIGs program. This is also a good opportunity to talk to you a little bit about how many things you will get from the FIGs program without having to pay. For example, some students and some FIGs choose to participate in Strength Quest, which is a way for students to learn a little bit more about themselves and their strengths. And the FIGs program pays for all of the students to participate in a cultural event. So any cultural event such as ballet or film or any other event that's happening in the city of Columbia, we pay for students to participate in one of those events as a way for getting connected with Columbia and getting to see a little bit more than just your college and getting to know Columbia. What is this Biome FIG? So a Biome FIG is a really great program that our biology department is working with us on. One of the things that we have found is that biology students sometimes struggle with very trainable and repeatable concepts. And so as a way to combat that, and as a way for helping Missouri's biology students be really outstanding students, not only at Mizzou, but also nationwide, we have introduced this Biome program, where students come in a week ahead of everybody else, and they learn a little bit more about biology and chemistry through this intensive boot camp-like program. They have lectures, they take classes, they have a networking dinner, they are able to work with grad students, and they get to be really leaders of biology students for the rest of the campus. The pilot program was last year. We have had, it was all full once summer started, and students really enjoyed the opportunity to not only learn a little bit more about biology and not struggle in those first-year biology courses and chemistry courses, but also get to know some of the faculty members that they would not have a chance to get to know otherwise, or wouldn't get a chance to know until later on in their year. And so it's an outstanding program for a biology student who wants to have an even more exhilarating and invigorating experience and even more focused academic experience. There is a cost to Biome program, so kind of giving a nod back to the previous question. There is a cost to Biome program. You can look on the biology's website to see what that is and to apply. It's an application only program, so you have to apply through the biology's website to show that you have done some of the previous work and know some of the concepts that they will be teaching, so you're not lost through that week. Do you have to have the same major as the FIG or the learning community? So let's talk a little bit about differences between FIGs and learning communities. A FIG is an academic program with a residential component, so you are living with the same students and taking classes with the same students. A learning community, you just live with folks of the similar majors. So I'm going to talk a little bit about FIGs because that's my role. And for the FIGs, you do in fact have to be the same major as other folks in the FIGs. And that is true for major-specific FIGs. We have some FIGs that are not major-specific and some FIGs that are so things like women's leadership or men's leadership or social justice focus or culture and religion. You do not have to be those majors. You just have to have interest in those. Also, we have a number of students who are in FIGs that are focused on career and major exploration topics. And in those figs, you really get to learn what your major works for you, as opposed to come in with a predetermined major. Are there certain requirements to get into a particular FIG, for example, engineering? Yeah, absolutely. You can see all of those requirements on our FIG list, reslife.missouri.edu/FIG-list. And those requirements have to do with your math and math competency. And so you need to have certain ACT, SAT, or ALEX score, or have taken a math algebra class in high school. If you're coming in with engineering, chances are you have taken those things, but still go ahead and check that out to make sure that you have everything down. I'm so psyched to move in. When do FIG students get to come to Mizzou? I am so excited that you are psyched to move in. We're excited to have you. FIG students move to Mizzou on Tuesday of move-in week. And so whereas typical students move in on Wednesday, you have an extra day to explore the campus. We'll have some fun activities planned in the evening. We will have a parent orientation planned for your parents at 2 o'clock on that Tuesday. And so you can go ahead and move in anytime on Tuesday morning. I really want to be in Women's Leadership FIG. When will it be full? Will it be full when I roar? And what do I do when it's full? Yeah, that is a really great FIG to be in. Lots of women really enjoy that sense of leadership and belonging and finding their own identities as leaders on campus. We have made a really great video about that. If you want to check that out, we'll also tweet that out shortly after the end of this broadcast. And so well, we have a number of those women's leadership FIGs, and so if one is full, there are still others that might be available. But to take this issue a little bit further, you will not necessarily know when it will be full. FIGs fill on first come, first served basis, and so you might not be able to necessarily predict when it will be full. However, if a FIG is full and you don't necessarily want any other options, I would recommend that you find some plans B and C and D and figure out what those are for you. But let's say summer comes and you still are really excited about that Women's Leadership FIG. You can give me a call once ROAR closes for the summer, and I will have during summer welcome, I will have access to all the FIGs. And so you can call me on that first day of summer welcome, and I will let you know if there are any spots that have opened up. The FIGs process is a very dynamic one, and so just because something is full now doesn't mean that it will continue being full. Some folks, when they haven't gotten into their plan A, choose their plan B, and then plan A opens up, and so they move into that FIG of their first choice, creating a space for you. And so if something is not open during ROAR, you can still continue checking when ROAR is open, and then go ahead and call me during summer welcome if nothing has opened up. When do I need to complete the ALEX exam? That's an easy one. You have to do that by April 7th. How many guys and girls are in each FIG? Good question. Some FIGs like Women's Leadership that we just talked about have all 20 are women. Some FIGs like Men's Leadership, all 20 are men. Other FIGs are largely 50-50. For majors that have more men as opposed to women, we do shift those. And so you can give me a call and I can answer a direct FIG question if you're interested in those FIGs specifically. What are some fun things that happen in a FIG? You mentioned activities for fall welcome, but I'm curious about what happens in the classroom and throughout the year. Good question, thank you. So there are lots of good and fun things that happen in the FIG. You get to work with an upper class student who is majoring in the same thing that you are. You get to work with a faculty member who has had a ton of experiences in whatever area that they're teaching in, or an academic staff member who has had a lot of experience in whatever area you're teaching in, or you're learning in. There's going to be each fig is different, but each fig will have an opportunity to visit a cultural event that we have talked about. Each fig will have an opportunity to have 16 weeks worth of lessons that are very applicable and very dynamic. A lot of figs have trips outside of that cultural event, and so one of our figs natural resources went crawfishing and learned a little bit more about that. One of our figs has gone to a farm and got to see a birth of a cow. That's pretty cool if you're like that. We have so a lot of our figs are very hands-on and very practical. So for example, our TAM, our textile and apparel management fig, has asked their students to design and redesign their clothes to be more environmentally and sustainably conscious, and so that was a hands-on project that they were doing. All of the figs have a completing project where students will get to learn what they have practiced and kind of show what they have learned in the end of the semester. And so a really fun one, all of our engineers compete in engineering Olympics where they get to design their engineering projects throughout the semester and then show off their work in the end of the semester. What's the difference between TLC and GLC? Lots of acronyms. We have a person who is a little bit confused. The difference between TLC and GLC is a thematic learning community has a theme. So a theme could be nursing or leadership. General learning community is a fig where everybody is interested in success and in collegiate success, but they're not attached to a specific major. They just want to live in a residence hall that promotes their academic success. What if I join and decide I don't like it? Great question. There are kind of different parts at which you can decide that you don't like it. And so, for example, you join on the first day of ROAR and then you change your mind. You can change your mind while ROAR is still open and continue moving around. You joined, and during summer welcome, you decided, oh, it's not my thing. You can, once again, keep looking for a different space in residence halls. If you have decided, for example, week 2 that you don't like it, I would ask you to kind of think through, is it just newness in college and that's a little bit scary? Is it the fig? You can always drop at any time. I would encourage you to think through what are some things that you want to get out of the fig and talk to your peer advisor, who's that person who's teaching you fig, about finding spaces and places where you belong and where you get to enjoy your fig experience. What are some good things you hear students say about the FIGS program? Here we are. What are some good things you hear students say about the FIGS program at the end of the year? So many things. FIGS students love the FIGS program. They really enjoy the fact that they get to interact with other students. They really enjoy the fact that they get to meet faculty members. They really enjoy the fact that they feel like they belong on campus. That theme of belonging and that theme of having a space on Mizzou's campus is really, really big and really, really relevant. Another question is, I am undecided. Is there a FIG for me? Yes, there is a FIG for you. We have FIGs for career and major exploration students. So if you haven't decided on your career or major, you can join one of those FIGs and explore your fit there. Also, we have FIGs that are focused on academic themes as opposed to academic majors, and so that might be a good fit for you. Check out the FIG list and see what calls your name. I think I missed one or two of the questions up on top. Nope, I think I have that. All right. Okay. Once again, we are going to be here for a little bit more, but I wanted to let you know that we will be tweeting out and sharing those resources that we have talked about, and we will be sharing this live broadcast, so we're able to get to you even if you were not at the same space with us electronically.